foundation will often require as a first step in the application process that the applicant send a letter of intent. The foundation will review the letter of intent and invite an application or full proposal based upon the review. Letters of intent are often the first contact an applicant will have with a foundation. The letter of intent may also be referred to as a letter of inquiry or a query letter. Letters may be invited to be mailed, emailed, or submitted via an online application process. Applicants should have their project well planned and know the total cost of the project and how much they intend to request from the foundation when preparing a letter of intent. The content of a letter of intent will introduce the applicant, organization, summarize the project and expected results, and present the total cost of the project and the amount the applicant will be requesting from the foundation if a full proposal is invited. A letter of intent is similar to a cover letter. It should be written on the organization's stationery and limited to preferably 1, but not more than 2 pages. It should also be signed by the highest ranking official in the applicant organization. The applicant should clearly and directly state that the organization is seeking funding for a project in the first sentence of the letter of intent. The applicant might begin the letter of inquiry with the statement, "I am writing to state our intent to apply for a grant for $300,000 from the ABC Foundation to support meals for homeless men in Cincinnati, Ohio," and conclude the letter of intent with the statement, "I welcome your invitation to submit a full proposal." The applicant is not making a grant request per se from the foundation in a letter of intent, but rather stating the intent to ask. Grant makers often criticize letters of intent, stating that applicants do not give enough attention to them. Essentially, the letter of intent should provide enough information for the foundation to make a funding decision, although at this early stage in the grant-making process. They are using the letter of intent to screen applications to determine which applicants will be invited to submit full proposals. As more foundations move to online application processes, an applicant may be required to submit a letter of intent in an electronic format, either by email or through the foundation's website. Foundations will request the same information from applicants regardless of the format. Be advised that some online applications limit word or character counts, and others may require applicants to provide the organization's tax identification number and establish a password. Letters of intent are screened, and if interested, the foundation will invite an applicant to proceed with a full application. So what should be included in the letter of intent? The letter of inquiry is very similar to a proposal, except that it is short, a mini proposal. You might draw the elements of the LOI from a grant proposal that you have already constructed and that may even be partially funded. Or you may certainly use the information that you are in the process of putting together for a proposal. Sending an LOI before you finalize a final proposal is a way to get valuable feedback that you can use to revise your proposal ideas. There are some common elements of the typical letter of inquiry. The first is an introduction. The introduction is a short executive summary. It includes the name of your organization, the amount of money being requested, and a description of the project involved. You'll want to indicate how the project fits with the funder's guidelines and funding interests. Following the introduction, you'll have an organizational description. Be concise and concentrate on your organization's ability to meet the need that you've stated. Give a brief history of your nonprofit and give a capsule of your programs. Make sure to directly connect that you currently do and what you want to accomplish with the funding that is requested. After you've done this, you'll supply a statement of need. Explain the need that can be met by your project. Describe the target population and geographic area. Provide a few significant statistical facts and several examples. Next will be your methodology. How will you solve the need? Describe the project succinctly and include the major activities, names, and titles of key project staff and your project's objectives. The key here is your key project staff, not all staff. Key project staff are individuals who are insurmountable to meeting the objectives of your goal. If these individuals can be replaced without impacting the goal, they are not considered key project staff. The next section will discuss other funding sources. If you are approaching other entities for support of this project, mention them in a brief paragraph. Include already secured funding if you have that, and indicate how you expect to support the project activities after the initial time period. And lastly will be your summary. Restate the intent of your project. Explain that you are ready to answer additional questions, and thank the funder for his or her time and consideration. Attachments that are consistent with the funder's guideline can be included. A budget may or may not be required for your letter of inquiry. Check the funder's own guidelines. Some guidelines are very specific, and it is important to follow them exactly.